Okay, now that we've looked at graphing single variable inequalities on the coordinate plane, let's look at some examples where we pair up an absolute value with that single variable and see what kind of graphs we get. So the first one we're going to look at is the absolute value of x is greater than 3. Now, since it's a greater than paired with an absolute value, we know that we're going to be looking at an OR situation. So we are going to look at the graphs of x being greater than 3 or the graph of x being less than negative 3. Now, since I'm dealing with the variable x, I know another thing. I know I'm going to have a vertical line. So I'm going to graph both of these inequalities. First one, x is greater than 3. I'm going to come over to x equals 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw my vertical line. It's going to be dashed because it's strictly greater than. This line goes on forever, so I'm going to put my arrows on the end of the line. The other piece I'm going to look at is x is less than negative 3, so I'm going to come across to x equals negative 3. Draw my dashed line. Now I need to come back and do my shading. So on the first one, I want the coordinates where all the x values of the coordinates are greater than 3. That would occur on this side of the line. All the coordinates on this side of the line have x values that are greater than 3. Or, when I look at x is less than negative 3, those coordinates live on the left of this line. So every coordinate, every point to the left of this line is going to have an x value, or an x-coordinate, that is smaller than negative 3. Now let's look at one where we're going to draw horizontal lines, and we're going to work with the inequality, the absolute value of y is less than 5. Now this time I'm dealing with a less than symbol paired with an absolute value, which means I'm going to be looking at an and. So I'm going to be looking for overlap. I want to look at the equation y is less than 5 and y being greater than negative 5. Well, I need to graph these independently. I know that y is a horizontal line, so I'm going to come up to y equals 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to draw my horizontal line. And it's going to be dashed again because it's strictly less than. Arrows. And y being greater than negative 5. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. Draw my horizontal line. And since it's an and, I'm looking for coordinates that meet both of these criteria. I want y values that are less than 5 and at the same time larger than negative 5. Those coordinates live in between the lines. So all the coordinates that live in here, when I pick out a coordinate, the y piece of that coordinate will be between 5 and negative 5. So for example, this one has a coordinate of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm looking at only the y piece of that coordinate, and I know that it's less than 5 and larger than negative 5.